Hey guys, so we are going to start a new project with second and third grade. And this project is called Van Gogh Flowers. What we are going to do really quickly is take a look at who Vincent Van Gogh is and what some of his works look like, and we will create something inspired by his work. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the picture on the left, but it is titled Starry Night, and it's by Vincent Van Gogh. And his style of artwork falls in a category of Impressionism and possibly Post-Impressionism, depending on what side of the argument you're on. But he uses short brushstrokes. His artwork has a sense of movement, which we have talked briefly about in class. So it feels like the sky is moving. It feels like the night is alive. And even with his self-portrait, which he did many of these of himself, you can see that movement in the background and even on his skin. And so Vincent was very, very, very good at creating a sense of movement and lighting and the impression that things are alive and in the moment. So he did a series of sunflowers, and you see that movement happening with the flowers going in different directions. Also, Vincent uses value, where he creates lights and darks in here. And also you see the element of shape. There are many different shapes here that work so well together. The shape of the vase, the shape of the sunflowers, the shape of the stems, and even the shape of the entire vase with the flowers as a whole creates a shape in the space that's being taken up. So what we're going to do is create our own Van Gogh flowers today. What you're going to need is some drawing paper. I say drawing paper because we are going to be using water. If you do not have drawing paper, some type of thick paper. If not, use the copy paper and just be very careful. You are going to need colored markers, a paintbrush, a water bottle, maybe if you want to pour some water into your cup, you will need a cup. I'm using water bottles in class because I do not have a sink on my cart. You're going to need crayons. Different color crayons and a pencil for sketching. Now, the first thing I want you to do, and it's probably hard to see it here because when I sketch, I do sketch light, but I have sketched the shape of what my vase is going to look like right here. And then I have drawn a line in the back that represents the surface that the vase is sitting on. In the next frame, you'll see that I added some of my dominant flower centers there so I can know where to begin drawing the flowers. The next thing I did was go ahead and fill in the petals for my flowers. And yes, you do not have to do sunflowers. You can do any flower you want to do. You can create your flowers. After you have sketched your flowers with a pencil, I need you to go back over your flowers, your vase, and your surface table with a crayon, okay? And this is where you can get a little creative with the crayons. I put a tip here at the bottom that you can use a white crayon in certain areas. So, for example, I took a white crayon and swirled around right here. I took a white crayon and went over some of these other petals, and I went over my vase with the white crayon, okay? I'm going to show you what happens when you use that white crayon. So, once we're done with the crayons, I want you to get your cup of water and your paintbrush ready. You are going to dip your paintbrush into your water, and you're going to wash over the areas that you colored with marker. So make sure your water is ready. Make sure your paintbrush is ready. Make sure your markers are ready. You will scribble or draw in however you want to approach this. I like the scribble look, so I did scribbles. So I scribbled in the areas with different colors of marker, and then I went over it with the paintbrush, okay? And what's gonna happen is the ink is going to spread, and it's gonna give us this very nice watercolor look. So I need you to find the colors that you're going to use now. You are going to fill in the areas that you want with marker. You could scribble, you could fill it all the way in, it's up to you. And then I want you to wash over it with your paintbrush, your wet paintbrush. What is important about using the white crayon is that you can create these interesting little effects inside of your flowers. So I use the white crayon here, I used it there, and then used it on my face. And without it, it would be nice and colorful. I feel like the white crayon gives it this very special effect. So if you have a white crayon, I encourage you to use it. But that is all. That is going to be your Van Gogh flower for today. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please upload them to Artsonia, and I cannot wait to see what you have for me. All right, guys, have fun, and I'll see you soon.